All right, let's get started. Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to our Learning Hour session. I'm Adib, and I'm delighted to be your host for today's session. We are honored to have our expert trainer, Mr. Fikri, who will be sharing valuable insights on Power BI for all, empowering everyone to create impactful data visualization. All right. All right. During the session, please feel free to ask questions in the chat box below. Mr. Fikri will address all questions at the end of the session. As a reminder, please keep your microphones muted throughout the session to avoid any disruptions. Without further ado, I hand over the floor to Mr. Fikri.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Adib, for the opening session. All right. So let me share my screen first. Okay. So for today's session, I will talk about Power BI. Yes, I'm teaching the Power BI and also Excel. For this one, is more on how we can empowering everyone to create impactful data visualization. All right. So there's a few way and how can we let everyone to use Power BI instead of using other tools as their reporting. All right. So the first thing is you need to understand that what is the importance of data visualization in business. Why we need to create the visualize data reporting instead of just a numbering. All right. So last time we just do report in Excel or other tools, and we just read the number instead of we visualize in terms of a chart, map, or uh, graph, right? So nowadays the tool as a business intelligence allow us to create all this kind of reporting, advanced reporting, and it's also interactive. But we need to understand what is the importance of doing this one. All right. So I create one line from below to top. All right. So to understand the purpose of data visualization. Okay. So the first one, let's say there's a one company, and that company and they're doing business like as usual, but they don't know what is the business status. Like, is it profitable or make it loss, right? So they will know once they submit it or they do the financial report by yearly financial FY yearly end, right? Or by quarterly. So it's too late. Like it's 1 year after, then they will know that it's a profitable or not. All right. So the business intelligence tools like Power BI is very helpful to determine all this kind of business status, so that they can monitoring from time to time instead of waiting for end of the year. All right. So the first thing, the important part is to identify the trend and pattern. Okay. So what means by trend and pattern? Let's say there's a total sales, right? Very simple things, measurement, total sales. So the sales, we can get like uh, real time data that we link to Power BI. So let's say there is a system, like maybe Salesforce, right? So that Salesforce, we can link it to Power BI and we can get the pattern like daily. For instance, total sales lah. All right. So this one, at least we know where we are at the moment. So it gives the pattern from day to day, month to month, week to weeks, right? and also we can understand that the overall status of the trend pattern, right? So this is the good things about Power BI. And the second thing is to enhance the understanding of the stakeholder. Okay, so maybe before we using Power BI as our reporting or monitoring report, the we may be using Excel to do a report or maybe use PowerPoint, right? We we do like manually, but somehow when we have a meeting with the stakeholder, top management or um, client, maybe something's different stakeholder. So they sometimes when we try to present to them, they might misunderstanding about the report, all right? And then we have a lot of question that is not correct, all right? So by doing this dashboard or data visualization to them, it, it can help them to give more understanding about what we are doing, like the business status, also the pattern and trend. All right. So and then we also can identify the unusual pattern. Let's say maybe there's one day that the sales drop by like two frequencies, right? So then the stakeholder might catch up what is it, and we can improve like some things in the business. All right. Okay, so the third one, market analysis and forecasting. So, um, like identifying the trend and pattern is more about the historical data, the data that we have, that we already have. All right. But from the data that we already have, we can forecast in future. We can make a like understand what is the market analysis and do the forecasting to the business so that we know that where we are currently at the moment and where we're going to be at like next year or few years based on the forecast. All right. So it gives the added value, not just the previous data to understand the business status, but we also can predict the future. All right. So, like always, prediction sometimes can be wrong, sometimes can be correct, um, but based on the previous data and we do some analysis on the market, on the other things, and it can minimize the error and can make a decision to the stakeholder to make a other decision. All right. So there is more on market analysis and forecasting. Okay. And then the fourth one is customer behavior insight. I like this one because um, this is like the it will give impact to the client itself. All right, because we make a sales from the our client or customer, right? So when we understand the client, what they want, so we can read them, do some insight, and at least they can get what they want. They know what they want. I mean, about the business itself or the product itself. So we can give an added value to the customer, and they they might be like us compared to other competitor. So this is the insight. The last one, prompt decision making. Okay. So last time when we do the reporting, in Excel, it can be up, can take times to like getting the report on time. Let's say when we need to have a monthly report, the report on the previous month cannot get like, for instance, in 1 week. Sometimes because they need to do all the data cleaning, they need to understand everything so that they can present the report to the top management, let's say, for instance, right? But when we do the reporting in Power BI, okay, it's just simply that we already set up the data cleaning at the first place and set up the report. All right. And like I said, like if they want to have the report in next week, right? So we can give it early of next week. And then based on that report, the stakeholder, the company, the business itself can make a prompt decision making for at that moment, because that is the report that already completed compared to like previous old school style. They need to do manually one by one, and it's very taking a lot of time, right? Okay, so this is to understand what is the importance of data visualization. Okay, and from these five key, then the company or the businesses know where is it profitable or making a loss. All right. So based on this one, actually Power BI give a added value not just to the internal company, intercompany, but also give a added value to the client itself, because the client also can get an instant report, right? Um, but first thing is Power BI for to share to others. We need to have a like Power BI Pro to 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 the client. I mean, to we can subscribe that one, and then you should share is the dashboard or the data visualization report to the client. So that is a good things about Power BI. All right. If you have any question, you can just ask in the chat. I will reply. Okay. So the second things, um, to create the impactful data visualization, we need to simplifying the complex data or reporting for everyone to understand. Okay, so we want to make everyone to understand and can use the Power BI. At least they can interact by themselves. Because what last time when we do a report in PowerPoint, maybe PowerPoint slide, right, or Excel, they just can read and they don't know what to how to deep dive about their reporting, about the report. So they need to go ask the who the owner of the report, and they, let's say there's a manager want to understand about their warehouse or their sales. So they need to go back to the data analyst or the one who create the dashboard to get all the information. All right, that Power BI, uh, it can like everyone to understand, even there is no non-technical person. So everyone means including the non-technical person, the one that don't have knowledge about Power BI, but they can use the Power BI, like just they just click or filtering all the information that they want, the data that they want, and they can get the information. Like for instance, all right. So the first thing, uh, the person, I mean, the person that who create the dashboard need to have a good data storytelling. All right. So how he or she want to create a dashboard, like where's the chart need to put all the location wise. That one is they need to understand um, the the good storytelling. All right. So this is very you can say that it's a good. I mean, this is very good key, yes, key, sorry, yeah. Good key to let people to understand. All right. Like myself, I last time I worked with as a data analyst. So when we create a dashboard, we not just create a dashboard, we also present it to the stakeholder. So when we present it to the stakeholder, we need to understand like how the way we tell them or we present to them like the good data storytelling from the problem statement, and then the method how we create a dashboard, how we deep dive or the data to do the data cleaning, and then lastly is we show them the dashboard and they can use by themselves. All right. And then the second part is use the right visual to get the pattern. All right. So there's a lot of chart in the Power BI, but to be honest, if you want to let everyone to understand about the report, you just use the simple chart or pattern. Don't make it too complex, because when you create a too complex report, I mean, because you want to let everyone to read the dashboard, right? The report, it uh, it can it can let the people like too confusing, and they cannot understand about what you want to tell them. All right. So use the right visual or right chart or right graph in the dashboard, so that everyone will understand, even for non-technical person. All right. Okay. So the third part is understand the user needs. Okay. So this is in my class, basically I will ask the participant to ask their stakeholder, to understand, like when they do the report to the manager, what the manager want. If they do report to the client, what the client want. All right. So we need to understand the user needs. All right. So basically, when we create the report, we create for them. All right. We not create for ourselves. So this is the key important things to let everyone to understand. All right. And the fourth is usability and readability. Okay. Sometimes I think everyone can create a chart, right? Even in Excel, in Power BI, or even in PowerPoint. All right. Because the simple as we just drag and drop the chart and data, then it's already there. But um, when we put too much chart or graph in the one dashboard, it can make the dashboard or report too cramped. All right. And people will not understand. So make sure to let everyone uh, can understand and read the report. All right. I will give you example in the next slide, so you can compare it. Why this is important for everyone to at least can read the dashboard. All right. Okay. So the next one. So this is I taking this from Google. As you can see, there's a lot of chart in one dashboard. All right. There's a lot of chart. From the top one, we have on the left one line, trend line, bar chart, column chart, and then there's a lot of chart on the first row, right? And then the second row, there is a few charts, like this is the icon people, and then column chart, and what is this? This one, the third one, like the information. And the third layer, trend chart, all right, trend line chart, headline, and then line chart. This is a pie chart, and the column chart on the third row, last on the right side. So there's a lot of chart in one screen, right? And to be honest, for you to put every, I mean, too much information in one report, it can, like, you don't know what you want to tell people. All right. So for you to create a nice and at least readable dashboard, there's a few key important things that you need to understand. All right. There's a maximum chart that you can put in a one dashboard. All right. Like for instance, myself, I will put a maximum of 6 chart in one dashboard. There's a few layout that I teaching in my class, where to put and why is it this one and not the too complex chart. All right. This is based on my experience as a data analyst. Okay. All right. And the second one, this is the one that I create a simple dashboard. All right. So it's sales performance dashboard. So as you can see, compared to the previous one, there's a lot of more than 10 chart. But in my chart, in my dashboard, I only put like four, right? 4 chart. So it's just simple. Okay. If you want have if you want to create or develop a more detailed dashboard, create other sheet, more put all everything in one screen. All right. So this is the technique how you want to build a effective or um, good dashboard. All right. So you can see that from the first one is a pie chart, total sales by item type group. And the second one is a bar chart by item type. And then the sales, total sales by name, the agent name, salesperson. And lastly is the bottom one is the sales by month, right? So easy to understand. And you also, even like the non-technical person don't know how to build a dashboard, they can understand this dashboard easily, right? So you understand that the top one is the title of this dashboard or reporting. And on the right side, on the top is the filtering. You can choose, right? Easy to understand. And even I can guarantee you this is for everyone, easy to understand, right? Okay, so and then the best practice design of effective visualization. So we understand that what is the important things and how to create a good dashboard or good reporting to the stakeholder so that everyone will understand about this, the dashboard. All right. First impression count means when you build a dashboard, you build a report. The first impression when you look at this is count. All right. So make sure you need to put the good coloring, the good location, the good font, everything. All right. So there's the um, my technique. All right. The first impression count. And surprisingly, pattern for every for eye tracking studies, um, there's one studies, one research made from the university to understand where is our eye look at when we first read the dashboard. All right. So it's a very, I mean, it's an interesting part that they have like eye tracking when we open the dashboard, and then the camera can detect the eye where we see or we view the dashboard at the first place. All right. So you can follow this pattern. So what is the first thing user look at? All right. So user will follow like a predictable F shape pattern when reading the dashboard. This is from the research, not I created by myself. All right. So the F pattern is look like F font. All right. F. So our eye will look at the first is from here, the vertical, and the second part, and the third part. All right. This is how our eyes, the eye tracking, when we read the dashboard. Most of the user when look at the dashboard. All right. So when we look at this dashboard, first thing where we look at in the area that you want to view, right? So you must, I think you will look at on the first left top corner, and then go to the right, and then going down to the right, the second layer, and then the third layer to the right. All right. So let me try to get the mouse. All right. Okay. So people user will usually start from here, the most top left corner. All right. And then they will read the title and read this summary of the scorecard, total sales, total quantity, purchase, average purchase, all right? And then they will move to the second layer, which is around here, and go to the right. So this middle is the first chart. They will look at the first chart and then move to the right to the second chart, all right? So this is how the research detect the eye tracking of the user when read the dashboard, right? And then go to the third layer here. So maybe we will read the view the filter here and go to the third chart, order location, product category, and also come back to the first chart, the second layer just now, right? So it's depend how we create the dashboard. The design itself will understand that the eye tracking. Okay, so from here, this is the F pattern shape, all right? The eye tracking, right? It's very interesting. So this is the first part that we will view the dashboard, okay? And then move to the second and move to the top right corner and then go to the second layer, port, and the second layer on the mid, move down to number 5, right? So that's why we need to understand that this is the F shape that very effective. We can create a more the good dashboard or report. All right. So don't make it too cramped. So this is how our eyes most of the user will read the eyes pattern. All right, the eyes tracking. Okay. So where do users spend most time looking? All right. Well, where is the user spend most time looking? So based on the F shape, there's a most part that user will look at that part uh, more than the rest of the chart. Okay, so 74% of viewing time is spent on the first two visual on the top left quadrant, but in this case, top right quadrant. Okay, so the first two visual basically is on the left side here, top left quadrant, right? Top left quadrant is around here, right? But because there's no information, like this is just pages of the dashboard and all the guideline. So we want our eyes still want to look at where's the information, right? So we will go, remember the F pattern. So we will go to the second F pattern, which is around here, right? So this is where our eye will look at, I mean, spend most time looking, right? So the total sales, total quantity purchase, and average purchase. This is based on the research made from the university in the US. Okay, all right. So how can you optimize your report? So critical insight, the top left or top right. So because this is the most people spend time, right? So you need to understand and think what you want to put on the most top left or top right corner. All right. I mean, around this part. I mean, based on all the top part, what you want to put here or on the right part. All right. So basically, when you divided this screen or dashboard into four, there's a four quadrant. The first quadrant around here, the second quadrant on the right top, the third quadrant on the bottom left corner, and fourth quadrant on this side. All right. So when if I try to draw, it will give like this quadrant. All right. So the first quadrant, yeah, and then the second quadrant, third quadrant, fourth quadrant. All right. Oops. Okay, this is very important because when we understand the basic, the foundation, then we know how we're going to put what chart or what information in this quadrant, right? Other than the F shape pattern, we understand that, okay, so the first quadrant, what you're going to put, second quadrant, what you're going to put, right? So like this one, basically oops, the this quadrant allow us to decided where is the most important information will be at. All right. So the least important we will put on the fourth quadrant, and the second least important we put on the third quadrant. All right. The most important we put on the first quadrant and the second quadrant. All right. Let me reshare screen. Sorry, I skip. Wait a moment. Okay. So remember the critical insight is most top left and top right corner. Okay, and then the second part is design for F pattern. So that one is the first quadrant, the second quadrant, or the fourth quadrant, and then the F pattern, where our eyes, the user eyes, will look at the first place. So remember, first impression count, all right? And third is the strategic color use. All right. Even we create a very useful or informative dashboard or report, but if we use color that cannot readable, um, is useless. All right. So make sure the color font, all the chart color is contrast with the background so that easy to read. Right? So if you look at this dashboard, right? I always like doing the report to understand. I mean, the color, the theme. I follow the company or the client color teams. Let's say if the company color pattern color themes is yellow, white, and red. So I follow like not exactly. I adding few color that is contrast and nearest to the company color pattern. All right. So that's why you can see that this one is a yellow. So the contrast of yellow is white and black. So this is the in my class, I will teach about a bit about color pattern and how can we use to make an impactful dashboard. Even the color can remember the first impression count, right? So when some people will impress with the layout of the dashboard, some people will impress with the color of the dashboard, all right? There is the hook where people will stop and read your report. Okay, so you need to understand all this part. Okay, so the fourth is clear headlines, right? Headlines. So you don't put too much text or information in the dashboard because some people, I mean, this is a dashboard. Dashboard is used to them to understand about more on chart and graph. All right. When you want to read, to make like people read about what you want to write, you need to create other report. Maybe you can create one more um, pages. All right, one more page for people to have a deep understanding about the report, or you can make it like do a specific report in the PowerPoint, like you pull some of the report and make it specific or customized report for that particular report. All right. So this is how I create effective and easy to like everyone to understand, and at least the non-technical person also can understand and read the dashboard. All right. Okay. Next, let me share the Power BI. Any questions so far? All right. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so this is the, wait, am I sharing the correct screen? Okay, dashboard. All right, so this is the Power BI desktop. Okay, so if you first time know, I mean, if you first time look at the Power BI or you don't know about the Power BI, this is the Power BI desktop, whereas the interface is slightly same as the other Microsoft product, right? So the good important of the Power BI, if you are, if the company or yourself, your company, subscribe the Microsoft product, basically you can use the Power BI because Power BI also a Microsoft product. All right, easy for you to like to have in one ecosystem. All right. So that's why when even for the first timer, when they open the Power BI, they can easily understand that what it's all about for this step, right? And just this is introduction, like what is a Power BI? The top one is same as the other platform product, Power BI, Microsoft product. So we have Home tab, Insert, View. Modeling is just inside this Power BI, and I mean it can be like you can easily understand, right? Based on the view part, the view tab, there is it, so you can change all the color here, and for you to insert anything is under Insert tab, right? So this is the top ribbon. And the left ribbon, you can see there's a report view, right? Report view and table view for you to understand the table, for you to view the table. And there's a model view. This is where I will teach in my class later, right? And from on the bottom of the Power BI desktop, you can see there's a report pages, right? So this is page one. So you can add page. So this is how you can separate the page or report. Don't make it too cramped in one sheet, in one pages. Okay. So that's why I just create a maximum six chart in one dashboard. If I want to create other chart or specific dashboard report, I will move to the second report like this. Okay. And the best part of the Power BI, remember the F pattern here, right? So we will catch, our eye will catch the first one is the title, and then the slicer. This is the slicer where you can click here and you can get a very specific what it's all about, right? For instance, this one is a item type group. So when you click pastry, you get all about pastry. And if you click tart, all about tart sales. It's very easy, right? And then I make it like by quarterly. Some people, some stakeholder want to know about by quarterly, right? Like basically quarterly is for the financial, I mean the finance department. They want to know, understand by quarter. So I make it like this, so easy for them to understand by quarter, right? It's very subjective what we can what they want. So that's why we need to understand their needs, all right? The stakeholder needs, what the user wants to know about the dashboard, okay? All right, so that's the best part of the Power BI. We can just click here, the slicer and all change, all right? And other than that, we also can click on the chart itself. Like, let's say I want to know about the apricot Danish. So I just can click this bar and all change to whatever I click. All right. So this is the apricot Danish. So I understand that apricot Danish is on pastry because the color is pastry. And who make the most sales for the apricot Danish? By just click on this bar, I can know that Charlie is the salesperson, the top salesperson, right? So this is how Power BI works, right? When I click again on the apricot Danish, it returns to the original view, right? Same goes to the Charlie. If I want to know what Charlie makes, like what type group he sold, I just click Charlie and I can know that, okay, Charlie make like how much? 3.13 K for tart and 6.19 K for the pastry. All right. And you can view like the detail on the middle chart here, bar chart by Charlie. So Charlie made like apricot Danish 3.2, all this one by the item type group, item type, all right? And it also highlight like this one, I make it like total sales by month. So we can read that Charlie make most sales on December, all right? Like 1.2K instead of the lowest is on February, 500 ringgit. So this is how Power BI works, all right? I hope you can understand about the basic things and how it can impact everyone to read the dashboard. All right. So I think that's all for this session about the empowering everyone to create an impactful data visualization. Okay. Uh, if you have any question, you can just write in the chat and I will answer it. Thank you so much. I pass back to Adib.
All right. Give me a second. I share my screen. Right. Okay. Uh, Thank you, Mr. Fikri, for the excellent presentation. It seems like there is no question from the participants. Okay. All right. As for the video recording of this session, it will be available on our YouTube channel, Excel Academy Malaysia, by tomorrow. Now, let me inform you about our upcoming training sessions. If any of you interested in enrolling in one of these courses, please contact us. We have Microsoft training, Microsoft Power BI by Mr. Fikri himself. It is a confirmed session this February. We have Microsoft Excel Intermediate and Advanced level. Yeah, it's also a confirmed session this February. And then we have Microsoft Excel Basic level, March Microsoft Excel, data analytics, also in March. And then we have Microsoft Power Query. It is in March also. We have digital marketing training, both confirmed session, digital marketing masterclass, digital marketing professional, and Canva training. It is as well a confirmed session. All right, I think that's it. Thank you all for the participation and have a great day. Once again, thank you, Mr. Fikri.
Okay. There's one question from Farah.
Sure.
Right, just to answer. Sarah asks, is Power BI visualization considered similar to pivot table in Excel? Sorry. Okay. So for this one, just to answer what Farah asking, basically it's not totally same as pivot table. To create a dashboard using pivot table, you need to have a multiple pivot table, and it cannot um, identify like by just click the chart of the pivot table, you can get everything, right? So it's considered like manually, not like the dashboard chart in the Power BI, right? Hope, okay, there's one more from Zuhilmi. Can BI Power BI? It's not BI Power, right? Okay. Can Power BI provide insight into customer preference and trend-related specific goods and services? Yes, we can. Yeah, basically, everything what I mean, you just need to understand what data. I mean, if you have that data, right, and you have all the information about the customer preference, we can build like a specific dashboard from them, like for the customer understanding, right? Customer insight. We can, let's say that we have a total sales and what the sales based on the customer, and then what is the most top product or services that customer buy, I mean, pay for us, right? So we can create that specific dashboard to understand all this customer behavior. Okay, so usually I will teach this in my class, right? If you guys bring your own data, so we can try to explore using the data, and you can have a deeper understanding about it. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the question, and hope you get what I want to explain. All right. Thank you so much, Adit.
All right, thank you. So